meet me at the corner of Russell and Albina, just about a block from Mississippi Avenue. I'll take you to a house where they hang carpets on the wall, and if we go there on a Sunday, there's a song I'll take you through.
Hello, everybody, and welcome everyone to the April 2nd, 2023 Open Mic America. I'm your MC, Rich Fassler, and I'm joined tonight by Mike Simpson, our interviewing host, and Evan Acey, our show engineer. You know, our mission here at Open Mic America is to support America's local open mics, and it's our pleasure to present the more accomplished singer-songwriters who play at those events. Without any gimmicks or frills, no looper pedals, no chorus pedals. This is the pure beating heart of American music. The tapestry of song and story that has been weaving us together for generations. We have a fantastic show this Sunday. All of our performers tonight come to us from the eastern part of the United States, which is a little unusual. Let's introduce all of our performers right now. We have Michael Arthur from York, Pennsylvania, Tony Lowe from Greensboro, North Carolina, Kevin Thomas from Garnerville, New York, New Middle Class, which consists of Barbara and Mike Borak from Yorktown Heights, New York, Mark Rogers from Williamsburg, Virginia, Carol Wise from Brunswick, Maine, Bruce Landy, Holden Beach, North Carolina, William Waltz, Raleigh, North Carolina, and Bet Padgett, also from Raleigh, North Carolina. You can find links to their work on our website and on this YouTube video. So let's get the show started. Our first guest is Michael Arthur from York, Pennsylvania, where he plays at the Folk Project of New Jersey. So Mike, take it away.
Well, I am from York, Pennsylvania, and we in York used to like to brag that we were the first capital of the U.S. because the Articles of Confederation were signed here. And we lost that after a challenge from New York and Philadelphia, I think, so we don't say that anymore. But we are running with the oldest county fair continuously running in the country. And this next song is a song I wrote a long time ago about a fellow busker that I met there. This is called Blind Man's County Fair Blues. Carnival pulled into town, his harmonica the only sound to break the ride. And a damp bell and a big top 10, it's the only bed Wiesman let for the night. And early morning drizzle down, bring another curse and another frown against the sky. Waiting down the midway turned out to be another day after all. Blind man got the county fair blues again. Blind man got the county fair blues. Eternal moan on harmonica, 6 strings in his orchestra, rough vocals though. His voice had left him long a while, burned out by gin bottle smiles and rainy nights. But he's a slowly strolling minstrel show. Doesn't charge no admission, no, unless you've a mind to. Maybe drop a dime into his cup, it'll bring you luck like a wishing well. Blind man got the county fair blues again. Blind man got the county fair blues. Blind man got the county fair blues again. Blind man got the county fair blues. Now a bunch of kids accidentally knocks him down. He hears the sorry from the ground. Fumbles for his fallen money cup. Hears another voice say, man, good luck, you're gonna need it. Now all the crowded sideshow streets he's been playing for a week are empty now. And he hears the carnies picking up, packing all their wares into the trucks and moving out. And he feels the brisk October air rushing through another hollow county fair. It's another close, my friend. Cotton candy man offers him a ride. You hear his harmonica fade into the night. Blind man got the county fair blues again. Blind man got the county fair blues. Blind man got the county fair blues again. Blind man got the county fair blues.
Great song.
Very nice.
Great song.
So this next one is a song I wrote about the human spirit and the resiliency of the human spirit. This is called Cling to the Wreckage. She wore the latest fashion. She dressed up in those long flowing gowns. Now she's gone to rags from riches. Still looks so fine in those hand-me-downs. He used to ride on wheels of thunder. He'd rev that engine with a heel and a toe. Now he's rolling on the rust and bald tires. But you know it still gets him where he needs to go. We may lie down in a burned out basement. On the ocean, but we'll cling to the wreckage as it floats on by. Cheers echo on as he sweeps up the aisle. We may lie down in a burned out basement. We may rise in the highest high rise. We may sail in mighty ships on the ocean, but we'll cling to the wreckage as it floats on by. Cling to the wreckage as it floats on by. Cling to the wreckage as it floats on. As it floats on by.
Very nice. Okay, let me pass you on to Mike Simpson now to learn a little bit more about you.
All right, Michael Arthur. My
Mike,
goodness, very nice, very nice. I'm pleased to share a name with you. It's it was interesting to me. You're obviously, you have the storytelling thing going, but that first song, tremendously visual. I can see the music video of that one rolling right here. And then the second song, very visceral, very, very impact the gut kind of thing. How do you choose the mood and the emotion that you work with with your various topics?
well, I don't know if I choose it or it chooses me, Mike. But the emotion is definitely the key point. That's what we're trying to do with the song, is convey emotion. At least that's what I'm trying to do. And these songs, I write most of my songs in open tunings now, but these two were written in standard tunings, so I thought I'd try those today. And these, I think the emotion is a little more subtle, but by the end of the song, I think it comes through in, like you said, in the visual imaging, or just the tap into something visceral in the lyric. So I really, it depends on, I guess, the mood I'm in or the inspiration I'm having for that particular piece. But usually the guitar itself, I write the guitar music first, before the lyric, and that leads to a melody and the lyric. But the guitar melody itself is actually, I think, dictating the lyric, and then how the emotion is going to come out through the lyric is the process that I seem to have stumbled on.
Very good. And your influences, who moved you along this road?
Well, I guess the typical suspects from my era, Bob Dylan and Neil Young, Dan Fogelberg was a big influence, and later on in the open tuning stuff that I've been doing for about 20 years now, I'd say David Wilcox and Joni Mitchell were the primary influences there.
Yeah.
Particularly
No, even out of the open tunings, I hear some of that kind of movement that Wilcox has in there. Very nice.
Yeah.
Very nice. So how long have you been doing this? How long have you been playing?
Well, believe it or not, and I'm sure you will believe it, it's about 50 years now.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, I'm glad that the 50 years brought you to us. It was a delight to hear you play. I'm going to go ahead and have our next performer come up by handing it back to our host.
Thank you, Mike.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. Thank you. Yeah, it's kind of funny when you think, gee, I've been playing guitar for a half a century. But, okay, so we're going to move now from York, Pennsylvania, down to Greensboro, North Carolina. And we're going to listen to Tony Lowe. Tony plays at the Common Grounds, the Brown Truck Brewery, and the Lost Province Brewing in Boone, North Carolina. So, Tony, you're on.
Okay. Oh, there I am. Oh. Okay. This is a song called The Music Building. And by the way, I'm originally from New York. And I lived in New York City for about 20 years, and I used to play in bands then, and I used to play bass. And there was this building on 9th Avenue and 39th Street, this old factory loft that was converted into studios for bands to rent every month and rehearse in. And it was called, not oddly enough, the Music Building. And it was kind of this seedy building in a seedy area of Manhattan. But I have a lot of memories about it, and I wrote a song about 2 years ago called "The Music Building," and all the things mentioned in the story actually happened. So this is a non-fictional song from my past. So this is "The Music Building." They laughed at his hair. Hey, Beatlemania's upstairs. It seemed a cruel thing to say as the door closed. Though I felt sorry for him as we descended to the ground, I was sort of in the same boat. At the Music Building, come on, come on. At the Music Building, we'll sing our songs. At the Music Building, we'll all belong. Now somebody crushed in the top of the drum case. Let's go up to the roof and snap some pics. Magic in the halls, and even the elevator works. Sometimes all the pieces fit. At the Music Building, come on, come on. At the Music Building, we'll sing our songs. At the Music Building, we'll all belong. Hey. 39th and 8th, and it's still standing. For what it's worth, I'm glad it's still there. And though I've never been back, the memories still swim within. You won't find another place like it anywhere. Now at the Music Building, come on, come on. At the Music Building, we'll sing our songs. At the Music Building, we'll all belong. At the Music Building, come on, come on. At the Music Building, we'll sing our songs. At the Music Building, we'll all belong.
Hi, Tony.
Okay, this is a new one. This is actually my newest song. I just wrote it a couple of months ago. And this is called "Garden of Shambles." It starts out in a very cool chord. That's what helped write this song, was this opening chord, and then the song just kind of flowed out. Come back to me and into my heart. Come back to me, we will make a new start. Won't you come back to me, is what I find a brand new day. You can try, but you're never gonna find all the love you think that you're made for. Though you think that I'll never go away, you may hide, but you can't remain inside. You were made for better tomorrows. We have forged a vision of our own. Come back to me and into my heart. Come back to me, we will make a new start. Won't you come back to me, is what I pray. Come back to me, find a brand new day. Time must pass like a freight train speeding past, left behind a garden of shambles. Walk away, never wanna see it again. But when they leave, you must hide away and grieve, though you know no one could do better. And the path you once shared now is yours alone. Seems so wrong that the party's left and gone, leaving you to pick up the pieces. Was it just an illusion all along? Come back to me and into my heart. Come back to me, we will make a new start. Won't you come back to me? Come back to me. Come back to me.
Very nice, Tony. Good song. All right, let me pass you on to Mike for your interview.
Okay. Let's see. I just see me. Shouldn't I see both of us? Oh, there we go. All right. Tony Lowe. Very nice stuff, man.
Thank you.
I like the well, I guess what I want to ask, you say in your bio about yourself, about being on a journey. Where do these songs follow in your musical journey as milestones? Where do they each lie in terms of the time of your playing?
Well, the first song, The Music Building, is where I spent a lot of time back when I was, playing in bands, and we would rehearse a couple of times a week. And actually, this is the same building where, rumor has it, Madonna, when she was starting out, she actually had to live in her rehearsal space for some time before she, made it big. So it's a pretty well-known building. Anyone from New York City who was a musician would know about it from back in the day. And actually, I didn't think it could possibly still be there, but it was. I looked it up on the internet, and it's still there.
Right.
And it's still called the Music Building. That's why I put that lyric in there about it's still there. I can't remember the words I used because I got the last song in my head now. And this new one, unfortunately, was a song that kind of wrote itself because we had a couple of deaths in my family, mostly my wife's side. That she basically lost her whole family in a just like 5-month period last year, starting in June. So it was a very kind of emotionally trying time. So, if this was just one of those songs that, it starts writing itself. So I just had to get out of the way and let the words, I mean, I'd say like 90% of the words were just came out, and the rest of them.
One of those watershed things. Yeah. Very cool. It's interesting that you bring up and of course, we're all sorry to hear that you had the tragedy. We're all glad to hear the song. But a band that you mentioned on your site, had a guy who was a songwriter for them named Alex Chilton, and that song reminds me a good deal of some of the stuff he wrote for Big Star, which I guess is a favorite band of yours.
Yeah, well, in fact, on my website, in my biography, I sort of, for people who don't really know what to expect, I sort of say my music sort of sounds like a cross between Neil Young and Big Star. So I'm glad you mentioned that.
Yeah,
I take that as a compliment.
Yeah, no, and it is, and you should take it as such. Well, it's very, very nice to hear you. I hope that your personal troubles don't weigh down your writing, and you're playing too much. And again, we're very sorry to hear about that. But two wonderful songs. Thank you very much for sharing those with us here at Open Mic America.
Thanks.
I'm going to hand it all back here to our host.
Thank you. All right, we are moving up north now. We're going to Garnerville, New York, to hear Kevin Thomas. You can find Kevin at the Growler and Gill Open Mic in Nanuet, I hope I said that right, New York, on Tuesday nights, at the Town Crier Cafe Open Mic in Beacon, and at Casa del Sol in Nyack on Thursday nights. He'll also be playing a 2-hour show this Saturday night, April 8th from 7 to 9 at the Art Cafe in Nyack. So, Kevin, let's hear what you got.
All right. I got to say, it really is an honor to be here. And, judging by the music I've heard so far tonight, I'm really looking forward to hearing everybody else. I'm really impressed and really honored to be in this room. So I'm going to play a couple originals, and I'll start off with one that has to do with faith. Faith is a big deal to me. So this one is called "Pride is a Funny Thing." So here we go. The same old woe is me blues, cleverly disguised as new. I could be fortune's fool, or I could let it go in the air. It's all about control. I tried so hard to do this on myself. Should've looked above for help. Pride is a funny thing, makes you feel like you're winning while you dig yourself another hole. I can only be a victim if I let reason turn to anger, then regret. My life is not my own, but the selfish let amnesia take hold. Where do I want my life to go? center is you. Everything's unbalanced and confused. Pride is a funny thing, makes you feel you're more than human. Where do you want your soul to go? And I feel you still. Oh, oh, and I feel you still. It's so hard to find yourself a place. Your neighbor says the answer's in your face, but the answer's like a puzzle. There's a different piece for each and every one, and yours only you will know. Don't conform yourselves to anything today. Renew yourselves through what the Spirit says. Life is a funny thing. Oh, the patience ruins the asylum.
Kind of a quick hit.
Nice, very nice.
All right, so the next song I'm going to do, right after 9/11, it was about 2002. I had joined up with the Army, and I was going to be a soldier and help out the country. And it didn't quite work out the way that I'd hoped it would, but I've always had a soft spot for the soldiers that defend our country and allow us to have the freedoms that we have. So I wrote this song about their experience, I suppose, or at least the way that I imagined it would be. And it's called Rows of Stones. So here we go. Something about that rain that fell tonight leaves me cold. Walking round the grounds tonight, I found lifeless souls wearing the same color green, same arms that I hold. Yet another kindred cold, they won't make it home. Boys, we are in trouble now. These bodies not that cold. Take another look around. Let's clear off this coast. Aren't we all humble now to that higher force, hoping to protect our lives, save others from
this course. Guess we're gonna take the long way home. Maybe we can make sure our children won't know what we've come to know from this foreign land. Maybe I should take one last look. Picture me and my baby it took long ago, when I was too far away to know, to understand. Part of a bigger plan. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Strange how I would fight to free these souls from their ghosts. Leads us to unconscious ground, leads to rows of stones. Aren't we all humble now? The devil and his fools. Aren't we all humble now? Their minds lose their cool. They're cool. They're cool. Cool.
Kevin. Great song. All right. We pass you on to Mike so we can learn a little bit more about you.
Yeah,
All
sure.
right, Kevin, right away, I just have to begin by saying I was grabbed by a sense that where your music comes from seems very similar to the hymn writers, the great hymn writers and the gospel writers and the folks who were the poets who wrote, soul music. And you're right in that tradition there. Do you agree with that? Is that?
Well, someone who had a big influence on me was George Harrison. His solo work more than the stuff with the Beatles, but also Bill Withers.
Right.
And I'd admit that I'm not the greatest guitar player, but one thing that always struck me with Bill Withers was I heard an interview with him years ago where he said, you don't have to be a virtuoso to make music. And that just hearing that from such an incredible songwriter as Bill Withers, really kind of spurred me on to do my own stuff. And so for the last 20 years, I've been trying to work on that, and hopefully it has some effect, at least I hope so.
Well, I certainly think that it did. And your guitar playing, you play guitar like a poet. Your words have the rhythm, and your guitar playing has the rhythm, and your words drive us along, and your instrumental work pushes your songs forward. And I think it's doing exactly what you intended to do. And I really applaud the work that you're doing. I think it's really great. You also remind me in a sort of an odd way of James Taylor. in that there's this completeness to the arc of each of the songs. You know, they both start and finish and you know, tell the whole thing in between. You know, they're very complete. And I really appreciate that. How do you work in terms of writing? What do you start with? Words?
Well, it varies at times. I mean, sometimes I'll wake up in the middle of the night and, have some idea that pops up and, but usually what happens is, I'll do lyrics first. I didn't start playing guitar until I was 24. I'm 44 now. But when I was about 14 or so, when I was in high school, I'd be in study hall and, I'd finish my homework really quick because back then I was a decent student. And, I'd be looking for something to do. And it was my English teacher, Mr. Masano, Frank Masano, had graded one of my assignments, poetry assignment, and said, your poems, they sound a lot like songs, or they read like songs. And, I guess it was a bit of anxiety on my part that I didn't pick it up until years later. But, it struck me. It really stuck with me. And, I was trying to really work on the lyrics the most. That's where I think my bread and butter is really, the way that I put lyrics together. I'm definitely, again, really proud and honored to be in this room with these great musicians, and I'm definitely looking forward to hearing the rest.
Well, we're glad to have you here. And, thank you, Mr. Masano, for planting the seed. And thank you, Kevin Thomas, for giving us the harvest. Very nice stuff. All right, we're going to move along and hand it back to the host.
All right. We are going to stay in the state of New York. And coming up now is the new middle class. They're in the midst of recording a new album. It's going to be a themed album, which is a little different for them, called Arguing with God. They've been playing frequently in the Music Makers virtual open mic on Facebook, where they like to try out their new material. And they're going to be playing next Monday. On Monday, I'm sorry. They're playing next on Monday, April 17th at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time. So let's hear the new middle class.
Hey, thanks a lot. This is our first time on Open Mic America, so we're very happy to be here.
Yep.
Also, if you hear anything funny about our sound and too low, too hot, just interrupt us and let us know. We're going to start off with a song that has been played on BBC Scotland. We've been played on a bunch of places, but you'll see in a second why this is particularly fun that they did that. I was having lunch with Elvis at the Loch Ness Cafe. We were talking about the dreams we nailed and the ones that got away. I said, I wish I was a star like you. God, I love that rock and roll. And he said, finish up your soda, son, and your fries are getting cold. The waitresses are beautiful, but they won't give me the time of day. Why do I keep on coming back to the Loch Ness Cafe? Odysseus drank his coffee black, and then he set out on some trip. And when he thought no one was looking, Lincoln pocketed the tip. I pretended that I didn't see. I was just minding my own business, 'cause I knew that the invisible man was the only other witness. Everybody stares at me, but when I catch them, they look away. Why do I keep on coming back to the Loch Ness Cafe? At a table in the corner where the lights were turned down low, I saw the Kennedys holding hands with Marilyn Monroe, and J. Edgar Hoover in disguise was pretending to mop the floor near where Castro sat with Sigmund Freud, comparing their cigars. The busboy says I'm crazy, and he hits me with his tray. Why do I keep on coming back to the Loch Ness Cafe? Einstein ordered after me, but they brought his dinner first. The waiter took a shortcut through an alternate universe. In the men's room, Adolf Hitler was complaining to the Pope that Pontius Pilate got there first and used up all the soap. Einstein had a hard time trying to calculate the tip. He was counting on his fingers. I could see him move his lips. And Hamlet had an omelet while Ophelia ate a Danish. She said, "You're driving me insane-ish. You're a cold fish with a death wish." Stopped in after midnight for a little bite to eat. When I saw the Loch Ness dinosaur sitting in my favorite seat, she had a leather jacket on and a Jimi Hendrix shirt. She was watching the display go round with those oversized desserts. I said I thought that you were dead, and she said, "No, I've just been away, but I can't resist the cheesecake at the Loch Ness Cafe."
Oh yeah. Oh my.
Great tune.
Thank you, fans of Scotland.
We also have a very cool video of that song, which was, it's actually not us playing the music, but actually this man, Willie Cameron, who is the...
All things Loch Ness.
Yes, he recited it also on BBC radio, and we made a video of his recitation, so it's pretty cool.
Because we can't do his accent.
No, we can't. Anyway, our next song is a pretty new song, and it's not released anywhere yet, but will be.
This will be on our 5th album.
Yes, right. When we get to it, I guess this celebrates all the lightweight drinkers out there. So it's called One Drink Drunk. I see the tail lights of your truck down the red dirt road. Looks like the last scene of some soap opera episode. And the moon comes up and the wind is blowing cold. I'm one drink drunk and my eyes are red. One drink drunk, it went straight to my head. Yes, I'm one drink drunk. It's sad but true. I'm only one drink drunk and I'm already missing you. It was her last had our last fight. There's no one here to fight anymore. There's no going back to the way it was before. I'm wondering, drunk, was it something I said? I'm wondering, drunk, can't get you out of my head. Yes, I'm wondering, drunk, it's sad but true. I'm only wondering, drunk, and I'm already missing you. A glass of wine was once good enough, maybe a beer or two, but tonight I'm into the hard stuff, Jim Beam, and losing you. Somehow the moon tonight is sadder than the night before. And now I'm wondering, drunk, that's all it took to get that heartache feeling and that lonesome look. Yes, I'm wondering, drunk, think I'll go for two. Because I'm wondering, drunk, and I'm already missing you. Missing you, already missing you.
Somebody give these kids a record contract now. That's great.
Yeah, great
It's
songs.
too late.
Great songs. All right, let me pass you on to Mike so we can learn a little bit more about you.
Okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and succumb to the temptation of the tremendously obvious. You wrap those harmonies around each other. My guess is you're either brother and sister or you're a married couple. From the name thing, Barbara and Mike Borak, you're married, right? Yeah. Okay. And you do I got one too. You do the thing with the the comic and the dreadfully serious. Even in the first song, you're snapping back and forth between important commentary and the funny stuff, just seemingly effortlessly. I know it isn't effortless. And between the two songs, you're wandering all over the kind of styles that you play in. So my question for you is, how do you work that out? You're a very duetty duet. How do you divide the labor? Who writes what things, or do you both do both? Let us know.
Okay, well, I write the songs.
I critique.
And we've been playing together since 1977. So I guess the soundtrack of the time was Talking Heads '77, Elvis Costello's My Aim Is True, and then we've been playing ever since then. So we kind of get on a similar wavelength when we're performing.
And I mean, as for the harmonies, we just work them out. And we just work them out. A lot of times when we're recording, we give each other ideas and work out things in more detail. But when we're just learning songs, we just work it out together. I don't know.
Yeah, the main thing is just to listen to each other.
Yeah.
And when we do that, it seems to work.
Yeah, that's actually the part I really like, is that when we our lives are so busy and crazy all the time, but when we play together, we just really hear each other. We really listen to each other, and that's what, for me anyway, I find really exciting. It's really the only time when we're listening to each other, I think. But yeah,
I doubt that's true. Yeah, I really want to and intend to pass your music on to other people, including the people that I teach songwriting to, because you have you have that kind of non-obnoxious but really obvious craft in your songwriting, and I suspect the critiquing is what really does that.
Thank you so much. I've taught songwriting as well.
Yeah. And you have this thing where you've got all those characters in that first song, and you give them each a voice, and then you have the one character, and you give that character almost 3 or 4 different voiced moments in that second song. Have you written any plays? You ever consider it?
No, but actually, I think you put your finger on something that we do a lot, which is my songs are very character driven. So many times, maybe even most of the times, they're sung by a character, not necessarily what I think or what's happened to me, but they're distinct characters, I think. Try to write that way, and that gives me a lot of freedom to say things that I can't say for myself.
Well, I have to say, this is your first time here. I am delighted this is my first time here doing this. I've played here before, but this is my first time doing the interview. And I'm delighted to hear you. I hope that you will come back and grace this Open Mic America stage again, and just keep writing, keep playing, and on with you.
We'd love to. Can I give a very quick shout out? That first song, Loch Ness Cafe.
Sure.
Barbara has done a fabulous job doing a video of that Willie Cameron reciting the lyrics. So anybody can see that at our website, newmiddleclass.com.
All right. Well, I will be checking that out right after this.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much. And
Thanks,
let me hand it back.
All right. Thank you, Mike. We are now going to head down south. We're going to go to Williamsburg, Virginia, and listen to Mark Rogers. Mark recently played dates in several regional venues, including the Sandler Center in Virginia Beach, Tin Pan in Richmond, Gem and Java in Vienna, Virginia, and Union Stage in D.C. He also opened for Carla Bonoff at Ram's Head in Annapolis, Maryland, and Cellarville's Theater in the Philadelphia area last year. So, Mark, take it away. And we need to unmute.
Okay, how about that? Can you hear me? Is that better? Thank you for putting me after Barbara and Mike. I really appreciate that. I'm an aspiring young songwriter from Williamsburg, Virginia. I'm going to do a couple brand new songs. This first one is called Edelweiss. You can search for inspiration behind every set of eyes. You can bet your reputation on a truth you recognize. But if you do those things you wanted, and if you do, then don't think twice. I may not be waiting, I could never bear the price. Edelweiss. We've been in this thing together, a connection from the start. Oh, but nothing lasts forever, independent from the heart. But if you see it in the distance, and if it's calling, should entice, I won't block your vision. Yes, I'm sure it's really nice. Ooh, Edelweiss. Ooh.
a way to persevere. It's an alternate direction, a voice that whispers in your ear. But if you go and swim that river, and if it feels like paradise, I will grant you freedom. Yes, and I hope that will suffice. Ooh, Edelweiss. Ooh, Edelweiss. Thank you very much. A lot of people write songs about relationships, and I have written several songs about relationships in my time. But the thing about that is that typically they write about a certain period of time in a relationship, like when somebody first meets, or when they break up, or so forth. But you kind of get to a certain age where you see the big picture and you see the full perspective, and that's sort of what happened to me with this song. It's about the full life cycle of a relationship. It's called To Open Your Eyes. Once upon a midnight clearing, listen to the voice you're hearing. Doesn't really seem so long ago. There she stood inside your vision, clinging to your last decision, silently erasing what you know. You were young and taking chances. She was making second glances. Up and down the dial you sang along. Taken by your first impressions, she repeats the same expressions, giving you a hint what's going on. Carelessly it trips your motion, suddenly it breaks your stride, driven by your heart. What a surprise to open your eyes. Changing with your points of view, she's standing right in front of you with nothing but the promises you made. It seems is dead and buried. In 20 days you're getting married, straight into a life you wouldn't trade. Carelessly it trips your motion, suddenly it breaks your stride, driven by your heart. What a surprise to open your eyes. Into your weary hours, you bring home a dozen flowers. She continues talking on the phone, reaching for your second trinkets, giving you the the chance to think that maybe you should spend some time alone. Carelessly it trips your motion, suddenly it breaks your stride, driven by your heart. Ooh, what a surprise to open your eyes. Carelessly it trips your motion, suddenly it breaks your stride, driven by your heart. Yeah, what a surprise to open your eyes.
Beautiful song. What a beautiful song. All right, let me pass you over to Mike.
Okay. Mark Rogers. Inspiration behind every set of eyes. What a line, man. A lot of that going on in your song, those two songs there. It's like some. It just struck me as like being something like Costello or
Yeah.
Springsteen or who might have written. You know, I mean, very very much in that ilk, as it were. But you know, obviously yours. To what degree would you agree that your guitar really drives both the harmonic and melodic elements of your song? Because it seems to me that your chord changes sometimes kind of come around the corner on you and they really push along the melody. Is that how it feels when you write?
Yeah, you know, I try to find that chord progression that is unexpected. You know, the 1-4-5 is always there, but if you throw in a 7 chord, that can really give you a melodic turn that is so nice. And you know, I find that the melody comes easy then, and the words, I think Michael had mentioned, the words kind of drive off the melody, and the melody comes from that chord progression. So yeah. But you're right. I listen to a lot of Costello, and you know, everything sort of started with the Beatles for me, and but that whole, you know, British new wave was real important to me.
Mm. And some of the rhythms that you're getting out of there, they're not the finger style stuff that like AC Joe Bemis stuff did, but you've got a little trip of bossa in there when some of those kind of things. Is that an influence as well?
Oh man, so much so. I have so many bossa songs that, and I don't know where that comes from, but I you know, just listening to the radio when I was a kid, probably. But a lot of bossa stuff. That's interesting that you hear that in these songs, because that's very much of an influence for me.
And the standard sort of process question, I'll go ahead and ask it. What's your order of operations? What comes? Do you have the lyric and then the guitar?
Yeah, it's the guitar. It's the guitar chords. It's the interesting progression that drives the melody, and then the melody drives the words. Sometimes the words will just come out with the melody, and I have no idea what they mean until, you know, you sit back and think about it. And then the hardest part is writing a story around those words that just came out of the melody.
Right. That's the constructivist work, you know.
Yeah.
You think about the Beatles, you know, Scrambled Eggs turned out to be a big hit, right? You know?
Right.
Well, what your stuff drives me want to do is hear more of it. So I hope. Have you been here before?
Have not, and I'm very pleased to be here, and I thank you very much for having me.
Okay, yeah. Well, I don't make those calls, but the guy that does will, I no doubt, be interested in having you asked to play again. I really enjoyed what you did. Thank you very, very much.
Thank you.
Bye bye. I'm going to hand you back over.
All right. Very good. So we are heading now to Brunswick, Maine, to hear a performer that I've had the pleasure of performing on virtual open mics with, always a favorite of mine, Carol Weiss. And she can be heard on Music Matters Showcase, streaming out of Maryland, and also at Cadenza in Freeport, Maine, live stream and in person. So, Carol, take it away.
Carol, we need you to unmute. I'm sorry, I don't have the control to do it like I thought I did.
You should be good now, Carol. Oops.
How's that?
That's good.
Right. All right. Anyway, I just said thanks so much, and loving hearing everybody's thoughts and in song. And I'm going to share first song. I'm going to do something new. I've been in the studio for the last few months, working on some new singles, and first one is called Silent Meditation, and it's been changing every time I go in, and then I ask my engineer to send it to me so I can tease through it and hear different instruments that I want to lay down in tracks. So, Silent Meditation. I am lost in my despair, get glory at the sun, weak enough to let you in, strong enough to run, like a rose I wish to open, knowing petals fall away. Be still and sing a song to a lover, dance on sun-graced rays. And you abide in every dewdrop. I hear your laughter in gentle soaking rain. Hide and seek in traces of the sunbeam, even songbirds trill your name. It's a silent meditation in sacred woodland, verdant space. Feel the moonlight tug, be still and discover the beauty of this place. In sacred woodland, verdant space. Feel the moonlight tug, be still and discover the beauty of this place. Feel the moonlight tug, be still and discover beauty of your place. it started out as a poem, and I go out to my little nature walks. Nature is a big influence for me. I see something, I get a feeling about something, and then some phrase just strikes me deep in my core, and I lay that down, and then I wait for it to talk to me and tell me where it'd like to go. This next one is called North Star, and the short version of this is I wrote a song for my mother 3 years after she passed, and this past January, which is my birthday month, I felt her presence. And after this got written out, she said to me, "I'm writing this one for you, kid." So she is my North Star. And here's how it goes. Life comes back around unexpectedly. Opens your eyes to a bigger view. You are never lost, just finding your way. Touch the inner core, find the real you. You've traveled so far, there's no need to stray. Your inner North Star is lighting away, lighting your way. Only unexpected paths. Like a buried seed, the flower comes at last. And untold stories we have yet to share. Now we're gathering together everywhere. We've traveled so far, we're well on our way. Our inner North Star is lighting the way, lighting our way. Listening so hard, I can hear you whisper 100 miles away. My inner North Star, lighting the way, lighting my way. Comes back around unexpectedly.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Let me pass you over to Mike now.
All right. Carol Wise or Carol Weiss?
Wise.
Wise. And indeed you are. I look, at your guys, Facebook pages and stuff like that, for doing this, obviously. It is interesting to me when someone has a really, really, really deep running river that seems to go through everything that they do. And both of those songs are lovely examples of how you're very fond of nature, but you're also very fond of social justice. And you write about social justice issues in some of your stuff I was listening to. I find it interesting that you managed to translate that into two songs, both of which deal with being internally just to yourself, just like the social stuff. So how big is that? How big is the concept of fairness and all that to you?
Yeah, absolutely. I was an educator for 40 years, and I teach in metaphor because I think getting that visual, kids, we all come with I never used to say, I don't like how smart are you? It's how are you smart? And so everyone comes with something. They have a strength, and finding that strength. And so when I taught writing and other things, but it was some place that I could be with kids to help them start to know who they were as becoming young adults, and finding their voice so that they wouldn't get distracted by a lot of other voices while they were trying to discover who they were. So it's a
very nice.
It's a journey.
You feel like a middle school teacher, were you?
K through college.
Oh, okay.
I think I spend most of my time probably high school the most, okay. But I probably got 4 to 6 years in every one. Yeah.
Yeah. Weak enough to let you in, strong enough to run. Oh my word.
Yeah.
Marvelous line.
Yeah, this one came, when we saw just we lost so many souls at a distance. And so I was out there walking and, seeing the roses and, that whole piece of it's just beautiful. That whole part about life is that we are here, and then we will, like petals, will fall away. And then those that left, the rest of us are here. And so that there was a silver lining in this, just to say that as people let us into their lives, or we let people into our lives, that's a choice, because we could turn and run when things get hard. Yeah. So this was a very trying time for us, and to just hold on to that beauty. And for me, it was in the silent meditation, was to sit in some quiet place and let all that wash over me while all this hard was going on.
Yeah, well, and you're a songwriter, so you have that responsibility not just to hold the beauty, but to redistribute it, and you're doing a wonderful job of that. It's really nice to hear you. Strong stuff. You have played on OMA before. I think I've seen you on the list. Yeah.
Yes.
Want to come back?
Love being here. Love coming back here. It's a great group.
Okay.
Great group.
I will make my feelings known on that. And by the way, you are the champion so far, at least for this week, of best background suitability to the music you're playing. Your hanging there is it's just perfect images for what you were doing there.
Yeah.
Thank you very, very much. Hope to see you again.
All right. Thank you,
And
Michael.
I'm gonna let this go back to our host.
Thank you, Carol.
Thank you.
Okay, next we are headed back to North Carolina. I think North Carolina has like 4 or 5 performers on tonight's show. We're gonna go hear Bruce Landy. He's in Holden Beach, North Carolina, and you can catch him at Wilmington, North Carolina venues like the Goat and Compass and Rusty Nail. So Bruce, take it away. And unmute first. Let's see if we can unmute him. Should be good now.
Yeah, no, he's unmuted, but there's something going on.
Okay, we can. Bruce, would you like us to come back to you?
Yeah, let's do that, shall we?
Okay. All right. Well, William, I see you putting your guitar on. That's good. Okay, we'll come back to you, Bruce. But, we don't have to go very far because now we're going to go to Raleigh, North Carolina, and William Waltz. And he's playing, he's playing this coming Saturday morning with the Loose Change at the Cary, North Carolina Downtown Farmers Market. And he's also going to be playing again that evening at Esmeralda's Cafe in Durham. And he's not sure. It might be a solo gig or Will and Friends, but whatever it is, I'm sure it'll be great. So, William, take it away.
Okay, the show must go on. I hope Bruce can get his stuff figured out. Bruce and I are buddies. We met at a Buskers Day at the North Carolina Museum of Art back before Christmas, and have stayed in touch. So hope you can get that figured out. This is the newest song. It is, in fact, still a work in progress, so if I stumble, just be kind. And about the only other thing I can say about it is I felt like writing sort of an R&B song. It's called It Could Have Been You. Saw a woman on the sidewalk on up ahead of me. She had long dark hair and an easy gait. I guess she had nowhere to be. Then she stopped to pick a flower. I said, I hope nobody minds. And she never turned to show her face to me. But I bet it's sweet and kind. And she could have been you. She could have been you. Now where she came from and where she went to, I never knew, but she could have been you. Saw a girl here in the cafe, down the counter all alone. And I bet her coffee's done got cold. She's all caught up on her phone. No idea what she is seeing, but it seems to cause her pain. She pays up and she hurries off, disappears into the rain. And she could have been you. Kinda wish it was you. Now who she loved and why she cried, I never knew, but it could have been you. It seems these days I spend my time just walking around downtown, trying to let go of some crazy dream, get my feet back on the ground. Wasn't what I planned, but now I understand you're gone. Until I think I see your shadow, and I'm right back hanging on. Saw a lady on a park bench, had a guitar and some soul, and she sang of love and heartbreak, and her words couldn't make me whole. But I swear I think she knows me from somewhere, 'cause her words cut to the bone, and I couldn't walk up to her. I just stumbled on alone, and she could have been you. I wish it was you. Said the way she knew how to get right to me, might as well have been you. She could have been you. I wish it was you. I really should know better, but it could have been you. I wish it was you.
Very nice.
You.
Very nice.
Okay, this is from a different perspective. This is a angry and bitter tale of lost love. And it goes like this. Get yourself a brand new car and you can travel very far and see the world and write me lots of lines. Get yourself a brand new key and you can sing quite cheerfully and make up all these harmonies and rhymes. Get yourself a coat and hat and scarf and gloves and stuff like that. It won't matter what falls from above. Get yourself a brand new man and I will do the best I can, but I won't be the same without your love. Get yourself a diamond ring and you can proudly wear that thing. Show it off to everyone you see. Get yourself a piece of glass and tell that fool to kiss my butt and bring your sweet self straight back home to me. Well, get yourself a little pup and he will surely love you up, and he'll be there when push comes down to shove. Get yourself another man and I'll get by the best I can, but I just ain't too swift without your love. Well, sometimes things ain't meant to be and we should take it gracefully. Who am I to question nature's plan? When the moon and stars are all in place and everyone it lights your face, I'm still standing empty in my hand. And I sure wish that I were still your man, but I won't be the same without your love. Yeehaw. Well, get thee to a nunnery, babe, what an awful shame that be, 'cause I know how it feels there in your arms. Get thee to a quiet place and draw the veil and hide your face. I'll still dream at night about your features. Get out your old photographs and have yourself a big old laugh at all the foolish things I'm thinking of. Get yourself a brand new man and I'll get by the best I can, but I won't be the same without your love. Well, sometimes things just don't work out, and we lose our way to fear and doubt. And hindsight's 20/20 anyway. Whoa, but get this girl and get it straight. I love you now, I'll try to wait. One day soon I hope you'll understand just how I was meant to be your man. 'Cause I won't be the same without your love. Yeah, I feel kinda lame without your love. And I can't get too far without your love. 'Cause I can't start my car without your love. And I can't find my keys without your love. And I skin both my knees without your love. And I won't be the same without your love.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Good pick in there. Right. Pass you on to Mike. Learn some more about you.
Thanks,
Mike.
Mike. Hey, William, I just, they told me I'm not allowed to critique the songs here, but I just can't help myself. First off, that was some mighty fine picking.
Thank you.
And secondly, I want to point out that the word "but" did not fit in your rhyme scheme.
No, it doesn't.
I think that was intentional. All right. So here we have just set before us two very different songs. Everything about them is different, style and mood and all that kind of thing. Where do these things come from? What are your influences?
All over the map. I mean, literally, like a lot
I'm
of
not
people.
surprised.
Like a lot of people tonight, a lot of people in this seems to be this age group. I grew up listening to the Beatles. I grew up listening to Buck Owens. I heard a lot of country music on the AM radio when I was growing up. And of course, the best country songs of that era were all very narrative. They told stories,
Right.
which is important to me. But, a lot of rock and roll, a lot of flat picking guitar. Norman Blake, big influence, probably more so instrumentally than lyrically. But yeah, I'm kind of all over the map. That's all I can say.
Well, it's not surprising when you display such thing. Where's your jazz stuff come from?
Well, I like jazz. I actually studied jazz in college. I went back to
Oh.
school in my early 40s after having been dropped out for a long time, and I finished a degree in jazz guitar at North Carolina Central University. And the funny thing is, I don't really play jazz. I mean, I realize that I don't have the chops to keep up with some of my classmates who were really, really good. But I learned a huge amount about theory and song structure and, improv
Right.
and all that kind of stuff. So even if I'm playing pop music now, it's all based on the theory and the musical background that I got there.
Yeah. Well,
And the
that's
funny
not
thing
fair.
too is that I graduated with a degree in jazz and then went to work at a classical radio station where I was the music director for about 16 years. So, like I say, it's all over the map.
Yeah. Well, Bach was a pop songwriter, so
Absolutely. Mozart, if Mozart were alive now, he'd be writing soundtracks and video game music. I
yeah,
thoroughly believe it.
I cannot disagree. Okay, so you have been here before?
Yes, I have. I think
You
this
have.
is my third time.
Your third time. Okay, yeah, I thought I'd heard you before. Yeah, well, it's delightful to have you, and I hope that you'll be back and that you'll have even more distance between your songs next time.
I'll work on it. Thank you.
All right, Rich, off to you again.
All right. Thanks, Mike. Now we are going to go back to Bruce Landy in Holden Beach, North Carolina. And you can catch him, like I said before, Wilmington, North Carolina venues like the Goat and Compass and Rusty Nail. So, Bruce, are you there?
I hope so. Can you hear me?
Yes, you are.
How about that? I sat on my wireless mic and broke it, so I had to improvise quickly. Thanks for filling in, Will. I noticed you were ready to go.
So Bruce, can you give us a little bit more overall volume? Because you're pretty quiet right now. Your guitar
Yes.
sounds good, but your vocals a little quiet.
How's that? Better?
Oh yeah, yeah, that's
Okay.
better. Thank you.
All right. I am from Holden Beach, and I live in a very interesting place on the what's called the underbelly of North Carolina, and it's one of the few places in the world where the beach faces to the south. So, if those of you who've driven up and down the East Coast, you know that if you're going north, the ocean is on your right, and if you're going left or going south, the ocean is on your left. Well, in my case, the ocean is on south. So, there's a line in the song that talks to that. This is called "A Cottage by the Sea." There's a cottage by the sea. It calls to you and me from the rolling of the waves and the gentle summer breeze. You out on your railing, me with my guitar. She's the place that we call home no matter where we are. It was 1985, near the summer's end. The cottage needed loving, and you found a brand new friend. With love and sweat and pride, you brought her back to life. For years of fun and happy times neath the Carolina sky. So let's take a ride, we'll find paradise in a cottage by the sea. Now we're rocking on the porch, Mom and Dad, me and you. Winters on this island hold a very special view. The sun rises from the sea and it travels across the sky. Then it sinks into the ocean with a soft and a gentle sigh. Sunny days and moonlit nights on the beach we hold so dear. But autumns at the shore bring hurricanes and fear. So board her up and lock her down, say a prayer and hug her tight. Worry as we drive away, will she survive the night? So let's take a ride, we'll find paradise in a cottage by the sea. Storm, she's still standing strong. It's peaceful at the shore, all the renters have gone home. Through the good times and the bad, all those hurricanes of life, we cherish all our memories from a cottage by the sea. You too can take a ride to our island paradise, surf and sand and wind with family and friends. Board games, cards and dice, margaritas over ice. Who could ask for more from a cottage at the shore? So let's take a ride, we'll find paradise in a cottage by the sea. No high-rise life for me, the entertainment here is free. Walking hand in hand, going barefoot in the sand. At night we watch the stars, we don't restaurants or bars. We have everything we need in a cottage by the sea. So let's take a ride, we found paradise in a cottage by the sea. Come along and see, we found paradise in
And Bruce.
Prolific a songwriter as a lot of you, and I interact with Will on a regular basis. Seems like he writes a new song every week. I'm lucky if I get one done once a year. But this was one of the very first ones I wrote. It was a long time ago. I was living in Syracuse, New York, and I happened to meet my first wife, and we got married and then went back there, and I got to know my in-laws. My in-laws actually became like a second set of parents for me, and I wrote this song for them. It's called Grandma's Swing. There was a schoolhouse in the country back in Grandma's day. Out back stood a big old swing set where she used to love to play. She sang a song to Grandpa, sang it nearly every day. Someday we're gonna own this swing, we're gonna watch our children play. Well, they married in their 20s, they sent him off to war. The war to end all wars, they said. He came back in 44. Scenic Valley riding stables, a little farmhouse across the road. And at that big old table, Grandpa's stories all were told. Riding trails upon the mountain, fighting floods and driving bus. When Grandma wasn't working, she was taking care of us. They raised their own and many others. They watched them all grow up with pride. And the circle won't be broken by and by, Lord, by and by. Schoolhouse is gone now, they tore it down one day. Grandpa saved that swing set, he brought it back home here to stay. You know they never had much money, what they had they gave away. But they owned that big old swing set where they watched the children play. In the winter he stokes his fire, summer there's hay to bale. Grandma tends the horses and then she walks up on the trail. Now Grandma sings her song again, she sings it nearly every day. I knew someday we'd own this swing and we would watch our grandkids play. Now Grandpa's gone to heaven, Grandma's gonna join him soon. When they're back together, we know just what they'll do. They'll smile at one another as they say their daily prayers. They'll remember that old swing set and all the love they shared. There was a schoolhouse in the country back in Grandma's day. Out back stood a big old swing set where she used to love to play. Sang a song to Grandpa, sang it nearly every day. Someday we're gonna own this swing, we're gonna watch our children
play. Great little song. Wonderful song. Okay, let me pass you on to Mike.
All right. You know, I personally started off picking and singing on porches in the Midwest. And I have to say, a couple of things about what you do just draws that whole world back so beautifully. What you do, that beautiful clean picking that you do is entrancing. I love it. I love it. You're all of your images and everything make me strongly suspect that you, sir, are a gentleman. And you write very authentic folk music for us right now in this day, and I think we can use more of that. What do you do to bring the songs up, to get them written? What happens?
They come from the heart.
Right out of the heart.
That didn't come clear, then I'm not doing my job. I do the lyrics first, and it's usually I've written so many songs. I have so many threads of songs that are from my heart that I haven't been able to finish, that I'm hoping maybe I can do someday. But I really try to tell stories with the songs.
And you do, very nice. So what's coming in the future? You're gonna keep writing for us and playing for us?
Yeah, I hope to. I'm retired and I live at the beach, and all I have to do is play music and write songs. So I need to need to get back to more writing, and I intend to do that.
Any thoughts about recording or other making permanents?
I'd love to. I have my own home studio, and I do a lot of orchestration and putting stuff together and weather, but I've never gone past just doing it for myself. Well,
I would love to see your stuff out there. I hope that'll be something that'll come on. Bruce, really nice to hear you. And you've done this before? The Open Mic America?
This is first time, and I'm
first time for you. Okay, well, sometime again, man.
Okay.
I really enjoyed it. Thank you very much. Rich, back to you.
All right, thanks. Okay, so someone in North Carolina has turned all these people on now to Open Mic America. I wonder if it's Bet. Okay, we are staying in North Carolina. We're going to finish up the show in Raleigh, North Carolina with Bet Padgett. And one of the cooler intros here, she says she's been playing a live stream on Wednesdays with her dog. It's called Brunch with Bet and Moss. I think we saw Moss a little earlier. I saw a little dog in there. And what's so cool about, well, he does tricks and she plays music and tells stories. So we got to find out where that live stream is. She's doing a festival to raise money for the Umstead State Park later this month. And then she's headed toward Surfa in May. And I said her favorite open mic is Folk Project Monday Night Song Circle. So, Bet, you are up.
Thank you. Thank you for having me back. I'm going to play a song that was a song prompt for a songwriters group that I was in, where somebody brought in Maya Angelou's poem called My Human Family, and we were to put it to music. And in this poem, she talks about how we're so different. We're different skin colors and different faiths, different beliefs, but we're probably a lot more alike than we are different. And so I put her poem to music, and then I thought I would take another challenge, and that is to take my music and write new lyrics. And I did, using somewhat her same idea. I call this My Human Family, and it is about my human family when I was growing up, the people that helped us out around the house. My parents probably did not intend for me to have these strong, wonderful, fond memories of these people that I do call my human family. Doris had black skin, I was fair and white. She was my mom through the day. She had her own kids at night. At Thanksgiving and Christmas, she was tired on her feet in our kitchen, making sure we all had plenty to eat. She was my family, meant the world to me. She was my family. Willie came inside when he finished his chores. We ate lunch in the kitchen, he could always eat more. He could make me laugh and had a huge wide grin that showed his pretty teeth against his dark brown skin. He was my family and meant the world to me. He was my family. I was raised in the 50s and I grew up in the South with an ignorance of privilege or prejudice or doubt. There was honesty and trust. How could I resist loving a family of mixed colors? We really did exist. When I was a child, I thought like a child. I spoke like a child, and I loved like a child. With an innocence that's lost when we're older and grown. Children teach us with their hearts how to be open to love. We all are family, all colors, don't you see? My human family, my human family, my human family.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
So, this next song is going to be my first attempt at doing something like this, and it might be a total flop, but if so, I will have learned my lesson. I go out to an urban park early in the mornings, and often will take pictures of the sunrises, which always have these beautiful clouds in there. And I often will post these pictures up on Facebook and give them titles. And one of them was Whispering Clouds. And a friend says, oh, it sounds like a song title. Well, I had not thought about writing a song about clouds, but at that moment I decided, well, maybe it's time. And it sort of took shape as, you know, what would I say? What would I do if I were a cloud? And so I'm going to attempt to play this on the harp with the piano playing at the same time. So here we go. If I were a cloud, I would send a gentle rain to fill the thirsty lakes and streams, and to farmers' fields. If I were a cloud, if I were a cloud, I would send a peaceful snow to mountain tops and salt sea sands, to calm the wars of men. If I were a cloud, raging storms surround me. They're filled with fiery wind and pounding rain. I must stand strong against their fury and drive them away. If I were a cloud, I would send this message to the earth on whispering wind, be kind to yourself. If I were a cloud.
Beautiful. That's great. Hey, Mike.
All right.
Your turn.
Thank you very much. I'm a sucker for harp music. It's you talk on your website about the optimistic aspect that you have within your music, and I must say that comes right across. It's very cheering to hear singer-songwriters who write stuff that's optimistic. You have a wide range of topics and feelings that you work in, and the stuff that I heard there. What's the main thrust in your mind of what you do as a singer-songwriter?
Well, like you said, optimistic. I'd like to show that in my songs. Although a lot of the things that I write are about very serious subjects, I try to show that there is some hope in the world. That often, if we can work things out and work together, that things will have a more positive outlook than if we are always fighting against each other.
Right. Well, that's wonderful stuff. Get a little bit music technical. That first song, the guitar part that you were playing there, I noticed behind you an open back banjo, and your finger picking pattern was very evocative of clawhammer, or my folk call frailing banjo. You play that style?
Well, I play clawhammer. And I do clawhammer on guitar sometimes as well. But this was finger picking. It was what I did on the guitar was finger picking. But I do claw on the banjo and finger pick too.
And were you in Dadgad?
It was Dad-E-ad.
Daddy-ad.
I dropped the third string down
all the way to
E. Yeah.
Okay. Well, it was lovely, lovely stuff. And you have been here, you said, what, 3 or 4 times before?
I think so.
Yeah, something like that.
I think this might be my 4th time.
I am glad, and I know everybody else is glad to have heard you tonight. And sometime again, we hope to hear you, and we will look forward to that.
Thank you.
Okay, so I'm going to hand it back to Rich Fassler, our host.
All right, I'm going to take it. Well, there you go. Another great show on Open Mic America. So I would like to personally thank the performers one by one. So Michael Arthur, Tony Lowe, Kevin Thomas, New Middle Class, Mark Rogers, Carol Wise, Bruce Landy, William Waltz, and Bet Padgett. So remember to check our website, openmicamerica.com, for links to the music of all OMA performers and find archives of all of our shows there. I'd like to thank Mike Simpson, our interviewing host, and Evan Acey, our show engineer, and our founder, Capo Dave Williams, who is working tirelessly behind the scenes to make all this possible. I'd also like to thank everybody who watched us on YouTube, saw this show live, and those who will see it in the future. And listen, if you like this show, please spread the word. Don't keep it a secret. You can even download and print your own posters from our website, hang them somewhere where folks can see them. You can also get a t-shirt. I don't know if you can see my t-shirt. Through openmicamerica.com. Please check out your local and virtual open mics. We have listed the ones where our performers play under a local open mics tab on the website. Our next show is going to be April 9th, same time, same station. with founder Capo Dave as our engineer. Mike Simpson's going to be the MC, and Robert Edgar will be the interviewer. So stay tuned for our next full lineup of performers. So let's have all of our performers make sure you're muted and wave. And I will say to you, good night, America.
If you meet me at the corner of Russell and Albina, just about a block from Mississippi Avenue, I'll take you to a house where they hang carpets on the wall. And if we go there on a Sunday, there's a song I'll take you through.
All right, everybody. Good show.
Thank you.
Wonderful show.
Okay.
Wonderful show. Big hand for our hosts, for Mike Simpson.